why this program, right? So when all of you are, are going to turn out to be an engineer, then why this program? What difference it is going to make it in your career, right? So Lean Six Sigma is all about problem solving. Problem solvers get business. Am I right? If you demonstrate that you can help people means you are solving their problem. Somebody wants money and you give money, then they will borrow money from you. You are a banking institution, and somebody has a quality problem. Maybe their products are not great, and you are helping them. Then you are again a problem solver. So problem solvers are the preferred professionals. Preferred professionals get recruited easily. Preferred professional become excellent entrepreneurs. So this program is going to transform all of you into employable engineers and engineer with very good entrepreneurial skills. You will know how to run a business, right? And that is the goal. And that means, in essence, there are two skills you will see an improvement in two skills. One is your ability to solve others' problem. Your ability to solve others' problem. Another one is the kind of decision you make. Your decisions are no longer going to be like an engineer, or no longer going to be like a manager. It is definitely going to be like a leader. So you are going to see a drastic transformation in your ability, from the level of an engineer. So far you thought as an engineer, yourself as an engineer. You might be studying first year or second year, it really doesn't matter. How you think is the maturity, right? So if you think you are going to come out as an engineer, the output will be different. If you think you are going to come out as a leader, the output will be definitely much better. And this program will make you think like a leader, will make you take decision like a leader. The difference between an engineer taking a decision and a leader taking a decision is, a leader's decision will be always based on fact. Always based on fact. An engineer decisions will be always based on data. A common man's decision will be always based on opinion. This is the difference. Are you willing to go with the opinion? Are you willing to go with the data? Are you willing to go with the fact? I'm sure all of you will make the last choice, isn't it? Fact. Based decision making is what is going to differentiate you as a leader from others, right? So understanding the leadership skills can quickly make you a leader. I'm not saying that the moment you finish the course, you will become a CEO of a company. No, but certainly you will become a CEO. If others take 10 years to become a CEO, you will make it in just 2 years. And this is the kind of impact the program can make. And all that required is your full participation, right? A lively participation. All right. So two skills. One is problem solving. Another one is decision making. And as an engineering student, I am sure all of you are already good in problem solving. All of you are already good in decision making. Like you are making decision every single day, isn't it? Like how the selection of the college is a decision. Selection of the course is a decision. And which girl to marry, that is a decision, right? Everything is a decision. So you have taken decision, but I'm sure so far all your decisions are based on the opinion. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Already you possess those skill set, but I'm going to elevate it. You need to change from opinion-based decision to fact-based decision. Then you are going to be an expert. Then you are going to be an elevate. Then you are going to be ready for a leadership role. All right. And number two, problem solving. I'm sure you are solving, several people's problem. Your friend's problem you handle. Your problem in the family you handle. Whenever you get an opportunity to go to a company, you handle their problem. They give you a task and you are solving it. You call it a project. I call it a problem solving. Both are same. So all of you are solving the problem, but right now your approach will be trial and error. Am I correct? If your friend comes and explains his problem with you, will you immediately take it as a project and then solve it systematically? No. You just immediately offer him a solution. He will try. It is his luck. It is his fate whether your solution will work or not. That means what is the approach you are following? Trial and error. Trial and error is full of experience-based solution. I have faced a similar problem. So I simply assume that you will also have the same situation. Situations can never be same at two instant of time. Isn't it? So I produce certain product, I manufacture certain thing. You also manufacture the same thing. Does it mean the kind of problem what I have will be exactly same with you? No. So every problem deserves a unique solution. That can be developed only by a systematic approach, not by a trial and error. So how are you currently solving the problem? Trial and error. I'm not criticizing your abilities. You need to take it in a positive way. These are also skill set. I could list out many people who not even do this. Only certain talented people can do this. But we are looking at people above average. And then most of the time we believe people are the problem sources. Training is not good because the trainer is not good. Training is not good because it is not coordinated properly. We quickly conclude that people are the problem sources. Are we correct? When we have such a mindset, do you think we'll grow? My college is bad, my professors are bad, my father is bad, my mother is bad, my friends are not good, and nobody around me is good. Do you think you are going to grow? You are not going to grow.
No, sir.
Stop criticizing people. Rather, criticize your process and system. How do you learn? How do you teach? Right? How do you acquire the skill? Look at the process by which you do all these things. You are going to see a magic difference in the outcomes, right? So stop blaming people. Rather, start blaming the process and system. Like how Rajinikanth was saying, we have to change the system. Same way, you must also think like changing the system, changing the process, right? And then all of us are result oriented. Just since because I joined a Six Sigma program, I'm going to get a job. Do you think this will happen? Just because you joined a program, do you think somebody will give you a job? No, it is not going to be that way. We have to thoroughly understand all these things. Any college, they immediately talk about the placement of the students. Immediately talk about the projects for the students. That means they are result oriented. They are ready to break any boundary. They are ready to break the ethics. They are ready to break everything because they are result oriented. Is it a correct approach?
Yes, sir.
Definitely. I don't say it is a correct approach, right? Of course, we want result. We deserve result. But we should devote ourselves to the process. That's all. That's what we can do. You leave that job to God. God will give you the best. You can't marry, the girl you want to marry. There are so many things, isn't it? You can only sincerely put your effort and frequently see her and meet her and do everything. It's a process you are doing. Process will anyway get you the result. Am I correct or not? Right? So it's very important we devote ourselves to the process instead of being result oriented. Don't try to break the boundaries. Always play the game within the boundaries. Laws of the land needs to be respected. Am I right? How to drive the car in India? You must drive that way only. You can't drive the way you want. You need to follow the law. You need to always play within the boundary and don't worry about the result. Devote yourself completely to the process. You know what is your process? 4 years of education. Education is the best time where you can truly transform you. This 4 years, everything that is needed to make you employable, everything that is needed to make you a successful entrepreneur, you do it. Take as many trainings as possible. Meet as many people as possible. Do you think all these things will take care of your results? Definitely, it will take care of your result, right? So my advice to all of you is be devoted to the process and rest assured. God is always there to help you. God is always there to guide the good people in the right direction, in the best direction, so that you will enjoy the rest of your life. So this program, Six Sigma training program, will let you see the God. And whenever you are in a state of struggle, you will be able to see the God, and the God will give you the clear direction. That means This program is going to definitely convert you as an employable engineer. And now it is in your hand to get employed for another person, or you can become an employer for yourself. All right. So what is the difference? This is the difference. You will start solving the problem systematically. You know what is the difference between trial and error and systematic? Problem once solved is solved forever. That's all. You don't have to solve the same problem again and again. I have given certain instruction in the beginning. Do you want me to give the same instruction every session? Not required. That means our approach is systematic. Suppose every session I have to tell you, make it interactive and then come on video and all those things. That means my approach is trial and error. So you need to be systematic. Attack the problem at the root level. You know why I am suggesting all of you to come on video? You cannot be distracted. Am I correct? When you are on video, I could see your face expression. I could see the way you pay attention. When you are not on video, you can play another video on the other side. You can even move out from your place. I might think that your gadget is the student, and then I may talk to your gadget, and everything will become a flop, right? So it is very important we always address the problem at the root level. The advantage is the same problem cannot come again. The advantage is you are using your resources wisely. Your time is saved for solving some other problem, not the same problem. We waste our energy, waste our resources, we waste our time solving the same problem 100 times. Then how do you know about other problems if you keep on solving the same problem, right? And then your decision should be data based. When your decision is opinion based, you are an ordinary person. When your decision is data based, you are an engineer. When your decision is based on fact, you are a leader. So what's the difference between data based and fact based? Data can definitely give you alarm. Am I correct? Program number of participants are 43. All 43 are present. That is giving a clear indication that students are the gems. Gem of the candidates are here in the program. 43 out of 43. So data definitely gives signal. Is it really a true signal or is it a false signal? Sometimes data can give a false alarm. The person who can identify the difference between true alarm and false alarm is considered the leader. We are going to teach you, right? Statistical method of understanding whether the alarm that is coming from the data is true or false. There is a beautiful tool called p-value. And those of you who would like to understand what is this tool called p-value, probability of significance. You might have studied probability in your schooling. The same logic, same concept can be used to understand whether the alarm is a true alarm or a false alarm, right? And but the thing is, deeper concepts are beyond the scope of the yellow belt program, but definitely you will be learning in the green belt program. But right now you can Google for the information, and also you can. I've also delivered a lot of lectures in my YouTube channel. One lecture is about p-value. Those of you interested can check it. But that is the tool that will help you differentiate between true alarm and false alarm. And then process produce result. I want you to be process centric and most importantly, customer focused. Right now, as far as the yellow belt training program is concerned, can somebody tell me who are the customers for this training program? Who are the customers?
College students.
The college students, fantastic answer. All the participants here, you are the customers. Right now, at this moment, all of you are customers. I think I could see Professor Madam also there in the program. Am I right? I need to search. I think she should be here. If she is there, then I must understand she is also a customer. Am I correct with my statement? Why she is a customer for me now? Because she might validate how is the training program going on. She'll go and give some feedback. Am I correct or not? So my brand image is also there. It is very important you have the correct eye to notice the presence of all the customers. Am I correct? It is not always the person who is paying you is the customer. There are other people around. They will also look at you. How do you perform? The best word to be used by a leader is stakeholder. And everybody can use the word customer. Everybody can use the word customer. An engineer will use the words like internal customer and external customer. A leader will use the word stakeholder. Do you know the difference between a customer and a stakeholder? Your parents are stakeholders of today's program. Am I correct? Your parents expect you to learn all these things in a fantastic way. The company which is going to observe you, they are also stakeholder. The college which is preparing you, to be a successful engineer, college is also a stakeholder, isn't it? So you need to understand. So, but ultimately, you must be customer focused. You should be customer focused. Every single moment, anything you are doing, try to understand who will be impacted. Understand who is the beneficiary and who else will be impacted. The exact beneficiary is called customer, and everyone who will be impacted is called, a stakeholder. Do you all understand the difference between customer and a stakeholder, right? And if you change these things, you are now considered employable. Do you now understand the difference between an engineer and an employable engineer? Now you understood, but you will start making it a habit after you become an LOL, certified Six Sigma LOL. Right. And before I talk the subject, I want to inform you about a very good book which I read. And those of you who are seriously interested, you can follow me in YouTube. My mail ID is there in the YouTube channel. And you can subscribe my channel and then find out my email ID and then send a mail to me. I'll share this book with you. This book title is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Over 30 million copies of the book got sold. So much copies. What is in it, right? Stephen Covey pointed out 7 traits of people which can make them highly effective. Highly effective means successful, right? Like Sachin Tendulkar, Sundar Pichai. You take anybody, right? All the successful people will follow all these things. Number 1, you need to be proactive. You know what is proactive? Don't wait for the failure to happen. Anticipate failure and start working. Anticipate failure and start working. When you are doing a 4 years course, how much is the investment? Maybe some lakhs, let's say 4 lakhs. And many people think that your investment is only money. It is not only 4 lakhs, your precious 4 years of time. Am I correct? The precious 4 years of time is 100 times more than the money you have spent. And not only that, before coming to the college, you have spent at least 12 years in a school. Am I correct? So 12 plus 4, 16 years of the precious portion of your life you have spent to become successful. What I am suggesting is, can you anticipate failures and then take some action now? Find out the ways by which you may fail. Is it important? Very, very important. Don't actually, wait for the failure to happen. Anticipate failure and prepare yourself. That is called proactiveness. Six Sigma is exactly that. Six Sigma is proactively preventing failures. And for organization, failures are nothing but defects in the product. Am I correct? For industries, failures are nothing but defects in the product. How many of you buy a laptop if the screen contains scratches? If the body contains scratches? None of us. Scratch on the body of a laptop is a defect. None of us are going to buy. So defect is a failure. Six Sigma prevents failure. Six Sigma prevents defects. Six Sigma assures defect-free products. Right? So there is a connection between our personal life and our professional life. How we perform in our personal life, same is your capacity in professional life. If you are very disciplined in your house, you are obviously going to be disciplined in your college. Obviously, you are going to be disciplined in your industry also, and you will be highly successful. And number 2, begin with an end in mind. What is the meaning of this begin with an end in mind? We must clearly know what do we want to achieve? Am I correct? This is very important. Before taking your first step, you must know what do you want to achieve. You are not too late. At the same time, you must understand you are not too early. You are studying first year, you are studying second year. Definitely you are not too late. But also you need to understand you are not too early to start. I'm sure if I ask you what you really wanted to achieve after the next 3 years, I do not know how many of you will have a perfect answer. Unless and until you are going to have a perfect answer, you are not going to achieve it, right? And that is called begin with an end in mind. If you want to start your journey, you must know your destination. Otherwise, your journey and your movement will not make any sense to yourself. Am I correct? If I know I want to reach Coimbatore from Chennai, then I can decide everything else. How should I go, whether train or car? And if it is car, which route will be convenient? I can do a lot of preparation only when the destination is known. If the destinations are unknown, people will not respect your approach. Every Six Sigma project will have a clearly defined goal, will have a clearly measurable outcome. If that is not there, your project is not a Six Sigma project. In my opinion, your project is not at all a project if there is no measurable outcome, which is planned well in advance at the time of starting of the project itself. And number 3, prioritize. Life is full of options, right? Life is full of options. You need to make a choice, right? And if the comparison is between your girlfriend and your mom, whom will get the preference? If the comparison is between your dad, whom will get the preference? That is called a prioritization. How do you prioritize? What logic you will use to prioritize? That is, you are making your choice. That's the third important right. And the 4th one, make it win-win. Make it win-win means your customer should be benefited, you should also be benefited. Right now, we are having a training program. You learn from me. If you also make me learn from you, situation is going to be, very, very bright, very, very, beneficial. The relationship can go on in a long term if you make the situation a win-win. If you make it a win-lose, the other person will lose interest and then he will disconnect the relationship with you. Same way, think of an employee-employer relationship. Employer is paying you a salary, but what are you paying to the company? If company pays you a salary of 2 lakhs every single month, how much do you pay to the company? If company pays 2 lakhs and you pay 0, do you think the company will retain you? Will kick you out. You need to make every single minute win-win. If you are not able to do that, people are not going to stay with you, right? Please understand. And listen to get listened. A very simple logic. You must listen to your customers. If you listen to your customers, and in the future, they will listen to you. What do I mean by listening to your customer? Understand your customer requirement. I'm going to make all of you speak for 1 minute after this session because I'm truly interested in understanding your expectations from the program. If I can't even understand your expectation, do you think I'll be able to deliver something? That's very difficult unless and until the person on the other side is super talented, it cannot happen. So don't expect somebody to meet your expectation without giving them without telling them the requirement. If you want a car, you will tell your requirement, isn't it? Sir, car budget should be 5 lakhs. And it should be, a 4-seater or it should be a 5-seater. And the mileage should be at least 20 kilometers. And it should have, the good interior. There should be audio system. There should be AC. What are these? These are your requirement. You communicate the requirement, you cannot be happy in the end. So it is very important as a professional, we listen to our customer. If we listen to the customer and comply with the requirement, they will listen to us. They will listen to us mean any product I launch, they will buy. And you connect this information in your day-to-day life. This is what Stephen Covey was telling. But I am only converting that into a professional statement. Everybody, your father is talking to you. Is it important to listen to your father? Very, very important. Then only father will listen to you. You need a laptop. He will get you. Even if he doesn't have money, he will see to that he gets you a laptop. Why? Because you are listening to him, so he will also like to listen to you. Logical, right? Same thing. And then synergize. What is synergize? Can you utilize all your energy to achieve point number 2? Don't utilize your energy for anything else. What is this program about? The program is about converting all of you into an employable engineer, converting all of you into a engineer with entrepreneurial skills. Can we restrict our talk fully towards that? I'm sure all of you will agree to my statement. That is called synergizing. In a business environment or in an industrial environment, synergize simply means the resource, when it is utilized, you must see to that it helps the organization to attain its bigger goal. When you have a goal of buying a dream house, buying a dream car, what kind of goals your organization will have? Your goals are smaller one, but organization goals are bigger one. Organization want to become number 1 in the entire world. So everything you do, a small piece of work, what you do should help the organization to achieve its bigger goal. That is called synergize. In the Six Sigma Green Belt program, you will be learning how to synergize the project with the organization goal. We call it goal alignment. We call it goal alignment, right? And you will be learning it. And then last point, sharpening the saw. Sharpening the saw is nothing but getting prepared for the battle. See, we should be ready for the battle at any moment, isn't it? You can't say, no, the battle will be coming only next month, so I will prepare only next month. This month, it is free time. No, you should not be like that. You should be ready for the battle well in advance. Once the battle starts, then you must fight immediately. You can't say you still require a time to prepare. So learning, continuous learning is an unavoidable thing. Every single minute you must take care of some kind of learning so that you will be ready for the battle at any moment. I have seen certain students getting a job right in the first year. Have you heard about it? You could read certain things in the newspaper, isn't it? I think recently one big company has hired a school student because he was very good in coding or something, and then he got hired. So please be ready for the battle well in advance. Don't think that your company is going to interview only after 4 years. Interview can happen in the 3rd year. Interview can happen in the 2nd year. Interview can happen right now. You have to be ready, right? So that means ultimately, when I want to summarize, I will call it as problem solving and decision making. That's all. And Lean Six Sigma training program will perfectly impact all the skills. You are going to learn tools and techniques to make all the 7 things happen in your industrial project. Sounds good, right? And some tools I am just mapping right now. Six Sigma is a defect prevention technique. Every Six Sigma project is goal oriented. There is a principle called Pareto, which can be used to prioritize your options. Whether it is a problem you want to prioritize, whether it is a solution you want to prioritize, whether it is the cost factor you want to prioritize, you can use Pareto, you can use prioritization matrix, right? You will be learning it. And thinking win-win is nothing but business case in everything you are doing. Any project you are doing. Let's say you are doing a project for 3 months in a company, and company will invest 2 to 3 lakhs, right? 2 to 3 lakhs. And how much you give back to the company. So the business case needs to be calculated, and listen. You will be learning a tool called Voice of Customer. You will also be learning a tool called Voice of Business. Voice of Customer is understanding customer requirement. Customer wants high quality. And Voice of Business is business requirement. Business requirement is business wants profit. When customer wants quality, we are now concerned about the effectiveness in our business. When business leaders wants profit, we are now concerned about our efficiency. These are the 2 keywords you need to master. One is effectiveness, another one is efficiency. Customer voice is always related to effectiveness, and business voice is always related to efficiency. How to improve the effectiveness, how to improve the efficiency is what is equal to an employable engineer, is what is equal to a successful entrepreneur. Right? And then systems approach. Any product is, is an assembly of hundreds of components. Can you think of the number of components in a passenger car? How many components will be there in a passenger car? Will it be few hundreds or will it be few thousands?
Few thousands.
Few thousands. So testing the components at the component level is not sufficient enough. You should also test it as a car. Am I right? Then only customer will buy it. And that means you must always have a systems approach also. What is going to be, the bigger output? The bigger output should also be tested before passing it on to the customer. And then everything you are doing should be connected with point number 2, the organization's bigger goal. The organization's bigger goal are called as strategic goals professionally. They're called as strategic goals. Your project goal is something which is small, but organization goal is something big. We call it strategic goal. Your project goal and the organization strategic goal should have a relationship. If there is no relationship, your project will not gain any respect, right? And then finally, continuous learning. This is what we understood. Do you now find relevance between what Stephen Covey was talking and what I am, or what me and my colleague are going to talk to you today and tomorrow? There is a connection. That means indirectly you are going to master this book, but Stephen Covey will make you successful in your personal life, but this training program will make you successful in your professional life. That's the difference, right? Any questions here on the first slide?